How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Z Garage. I'm Joshua, as always, and it's been a few weeks. I want to say over a month since the last video, and no work has been done. I don't want you to think that I've been working and haven't been making videos. I've just had a bunch of other stuff going on. I've been helping my parents move to a new house, so that took a couple weekends. It was the 4th of July in there, I had some family coming into town, so it's kind of been pushed back. Because we have already passed Branson Z Fest, there's no hard deadline. So this has kind of taken the back seat. We're back this week to get some good progress done. So hopefully over this weekend and next week, I can get some good content for you guys for next weekend. So this is the weekend before. You guys should see it if everything goes well. But I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, over the last couple episodes, my garage has gotten pretty cluttered, a little dirty, and it actually used to be a lot worse than this. But I have, because my parents have been moving houses, they've made me take all my stuff back into my own house now. So I've gotten all of my Z parts. They're all actually here now, so they haven't been spread out amongst other places. But I did manage to get a shelf and see if I can rotate this for you guys. All right, so if you guys can see, we have a red toolbox. It's 2 pieces. And then we have a shelf as well. I've already started populating the shelf. I think you guys might be able to tell. But there's some more stuff that we want to go on. So I want to go ahead and actually clean up this area first, because a nice clean space actually makes it easier to work. If you guys have a dirty garage, one of the best things you can do for your motivation is just to clean up, make everything kind of nice and tidy again. So this has really been bumming me out. It's been really hard to work around. I am losing tools all the time because I'm putting them behind stuff, and then there's just a bunch of garbage in the way. So first thing that I want to do this weekend is actually clean up the garage, get it looking back to a semi-normal state, something that I can actually walk around in, and not have to search for tools and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. I'll show you guys the finished result. So here's what it looks like right now. And then let's go ahead and jump to the future, and I'll kind of show you guys how we end up. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but it should be significantly better. So let's go ahead and see how it turns out. All right, guys, well, it has actually been a lot longer than I anticipated, but if you might be able to tell, the shop is a lot cleaner. I have pushed a bunch of stuff over. I've got some shelves up over there now. There's obviously a bunch of stuff back there, but I'm kind of in the process of figuring out where I want to put it actually. But you might be able to tell we got the front bumper off of the car because we need to go ahead and replace the oil lines going to the oil cooler. They were leaking, and I think it was just poor quality hose. I did kind of get cheap hose at first. So I went ahead and went with a brand I've used before and haven't had any issues with. So I'm going to be using that. So we're going to go ahead and replace both those lines. And then I need to go ahead and put on a power steering belt and a spacer to the intake plenum so we can go ahead and push it up just a tiny little bit, because the power steering pulley is getting really close to the throttle, and I'm kind of scared that it's going to hit it. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. Obviously, I'll bring you guys along with me, but I'm really excited because I really wanted to get back working on this, and having this all cluttered was just really messing up my headspace, but it's looking really good now. So let's go ahead and jump back in. All right, guys, so I got the oil cooler lines redone. So they're coming through here again. I don't know if I showed this last time, but I have them just zip tied up along this front lip right now. I don't think that's going to be an issue. They will be the first thing to hit if I were to go over a really big bump, but I would be hitting a lot of stuff if I went over a bump that big, so I think I will be fine because it will literally be a very massive hit. So I think they're going to be good. I will probably go ahead and put some stainless steel zip ties on them just to make sure they can't drop down in case the plastic ones break. But I have the plastic ones holding them together. So that's looking good. I do need to go ahead in this section right here. It's kind of like right next to the alternator where the oil cooler lines come out. I need to go ahead and douse that in just a bunch of brake clean because oil got all over the alternator and everything, and it is just a mess. So I need to go ahead and do that. But I'll go ahead and hold on to that for later because I need to open the garage door because brake clean is pretty stinky. But we're going to go ahead and jump over to the intake manifold. I've got to go ahead and remove a bunch of this stuff so we can go ahead and pull it off, get it up, so I can put that spacer in and the power steering belt on at the same time. So let's go ahead and move over to that and see how it goes. All right, guys, hopefully you might be able to see, but right underneath the intake manifold is now a little piece of aluminum, and I do have a gasket on top and bottom here. So we went ahead and pushed that up so we could get the power steering on. I wanted to show you just kind of like what I was dealing with here. Coming around to the back of this throttle, see if I can get in here. It's pretty tight viewing. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it all that well, but basically the silicone coupler, where it wraps around the bottom of the throttle right here, it was resting on the actual pulley itself, and that was just letting it basically not spin the pulley. So that spacer is just enough to go ahead and get it up, and I obviously have the belt on now, and it's all nice and tensioned, so that's looking really good. I think this engine is actually almost ready to start again. I don't think there's really anything else that we needed to deal with because we got the oil leaks done. There was really nothing else leaking. I do want to go ahead and try bleeding the brakes again, see if I can get a little bit more brake pressure because I feel like I wasn't getting enough last time I drove it. So let's go ahead and move over to that and kind of see if that does anything because I kind of need brakes to drive this car. So I'm going to go ahead and re-bleed all 4 corners and hopefully that gets us some good results. All right, guys, so I apologize that we didn't really film a lot of content this week or for this episode. I've just been doing little bits over the last few weeks, which is why I haven't put any videos out. But we got new oil cooler lines ran, and there's no leaks in them. So just get high quality lines from the start, guys. Don't go with the cheap stuff. That's what kind of happens. No oil leaks anymore. Super happy about that. I got the intake plenum spacer on to go ahead and push it up a little bit. So now we have power steering. I have the power steering belt on. I bled the system a little bit and I can actually turn it side to side with the car running. So super happy about that. If you remember the first drive segment that I did at on the end of the video, right before I went to Branson, I noted that I had no brakes. And that has been the biggest issue that I've been trying to combat this week for me, this video for you guys obviously. But I went ahead and re-bled every single corner of the car. Got a little bit of air bubbles out of the rear. I don't really think that was the issue because I did take it on another test drive today and it just still doesn't brake. I used to be able to lock up this car, lock up the front brakes pretty easily. I have Z32 front brakes, obviously, if you've been watching my videos. Stock Z31 rear brakes. I used to be able to lock the fronts up really, really well. So I can't do that anymore. Pushing really hard on the brake just moderately slows the car down. So I'm not going to be driving this at any notable speed until I get good firm brakes again. So fingers crossed. I think the issue might be that the adjustment rod inside the that actually goes from the master cylinder to the brake pedal, it's all the way forward right now, which basically means that throughout the brake pedal throw, I'm pushing less fluid than if it was pulled all the way back and then opened the entire cylinder up. So fingers crossed I can just adjust that and then we should have good brakes again. I'll let you guys know how that goes obviously. But the plan is, if that works, if everything here goes to plan, I don't have any more leaks, next weekend, guys, fingers crossed, is the actual first drive video. So it's going to be a nice long video of good turbo sounds. We're going to go get some new gas in it and then just take it for a cruise. Hopefully that goes to plan. You guys will obviously know if I have a video out that says first drive. Or first cruise maybe, because technically I've driven it already. But guys, I'm super excited. We're so close. I'm so sorry it's taken a few weeks. It's actually been a few months at this point since Branson to get to this point. There's just been so much stuff happening and it's just been little things popping up here and there. But I am so excited to get this car actually running and driving and get some miles on it because it is just such a fun car. Just driving around the block has been a blast. So fingers crossed, guys. Next weekend is the first drive video. Obviously, stay tuned. Drop any comments, questions you have down below. And I'll see you guys next time for hopefully a very exciting video. So, see you guys then.